Gentlemen, we figured we would hop on here tonight, talk about Raw. We were going to play Rocket League regardless. We were going to talk about Raw regardless. So we figured, hey, actually, I shouldn't say we. I don't want to take credit for this. This was entirely John's idea. John was like, hey, you want to do a stream tonight? And I was like, hell yeah. So we figured we would get on here. We figured we would do our normal nightly routine that we would do on a night like this regardless, but we would do it for all of you. We figured we would share our discussion about Raw tonight with all of you. We hope that you're going to enjoy. John, let everyone know you're even here.
Brother, it is all good up in here. What's up, guys? I really enjoyed Raw tonight, and I figured, when I'm feeling positive about the product, I personally feel like those are the best times to stream. So I'm going to pick a team, and then you can follow Ash, and then we'll just get right into talking about this, because I did pull up a recap of Raw tonight. We can go, item by item and just kind of discuss it,
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so
Look at you being the responsible one. Go.
it was my idea. I don't want you to feel any pressure, man. I want this to just be fun and relaxed. So I'm gonna pick a team, okay?
I'm gonna take my glasses off. Shit.
Hell yeah, man. Ease your seat back. Get into it. Because this was Raw in Winnipeg. I gotta say, the crowd only disappointed me for one segment, and even they started to heat up for that
And
more
they
towards the end, I feel
Did the
like.
fucking what chance to Asuka?
Yeah, which, the disrespect. But speaking of disrespect, we did open Raw tonight with Randy Orton for the third straight week. You noted in the Discord that they've been doing that a lot lately. By the way, guys, you can get Discord access for the TWitWoW Discord for $3 a month. Saying as how February
donate to
is
the
almost
Patreon.
over.
The link to the Patreon is in the chat, in the profile down below, the description. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, February is just a little bit left of February, so you can still get in on March if you donate now. I think that'd be some good stuff. But yeah, Orton opening for the third week. I don't know how that's been doing ratings-wise. I can't comment on
dude,
that.
last week was one of the highest rated hours on Raw in years.
Oh, so I guess they just feel like he's strong in that spot.
I don't know if it's him or Matt Hardy, but I think we're going to find out after this week, because,
that's very true. That's very true. So Orton essentially cuts a promo saying, he's sorry, but he really doesn't sound it. And he says that, you wouldn't understand why I did what I did to Edge. Although I should backtrack a bit, because he actually did a great job connecting himself to the place. Because, again, this was in Winnipeg tonight. And he said, I would have been 24. So you figure this would have been 16 years ago. And he was the Intercontinental Champion. And a man ended up punching him in the face that would end up being his brother, somebody that he would grow to love, pull him out of a hole, save him from himself, his self-destructive tendencies. His name was Adam, but we all know him as Edge. I thought that was a great line there. And he's really kind of working the crowd. It seems like it's just going to end with the apology. I'm sorry. Orton trying out for that VP internship once wrestling kind of goes tits up for him. And then I most welcome interruption, because I've been waiting for this, given Kevin Owens' reaction to Edge on Twitter, and I let the cat out of the bag there. Kevin Owens interrupts. But I want to hand it over to you, Ash, and just kind of walk us through. What did you think of Orton's kind of not so much explanation as much of absolving himself, and then Kevin Owens interrupting?
Yeah, Orton, like, the thing is, he doesn't even really have to say much in order to just maintain his heat, because his actions spoke way louder than any words possibly could. Him being the one to kind of take the responsibility for Edge being off TV this whole time is pissing people off big time. And that's all it really takes for him to maintain his heat, is just reminding people that he did it. And even if he's saying, like, I'm sorry for it, he's still reminding people, like, by the way, guys, Edge would be on TV right now if it wasn't for me. You're welcome. So, Orton doesn't even have to cut the best promos, because all that matters is that he's the dude that took Edge off TV, and that's pissing people off, and he's getting all that heat. And then when Owens does come out, holy hell, the pop and the reactions. He was super beloved by this crowd, and I'm obviously it makes sense because it was Montreal, or it was Winnipeg. That's right. It was Winnipeg, right?
Yeah, it was Winnipeg. And bro, I gotta have a quick sidebar with you, just real quick. I've got to say, I like how WWE is handling their baby faces lately, particularly on the Raw side, since it was Raw that happened tonight. I feel like they're building up Ricochet decently, given that it's a Saudi show. Drew they're handling masterfully, and we're going to get that later in the Rocket League stream.
His interview tonight was so good.
Well, it was so down to earth, and it was a great chronicling, in a very compact segment. And then there's Kevin Owens, which, by the way, of all the Kevin Owens shirts that have come out, I have never been more tempted to buy one than the Just Keep Fighting shirt. I love it.
Should I make a because he's a father damn it version of it?
You know what? Yeah, I'd be down for that because I'll tell you, I think it's so smart. It's so intelligent, given how he's been booked. You know, being kind of
Great
the lone
shot,
warrior. Thank you, man. Because he's been the lone warrior in these tag matches. You know, his partner's being taken out. He got the standing ovation a few weeks ago because of his effort. Like, I am loving babyface Kevin Owens, dude.
Yep.
It is fucking working.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, like, he comes out, he cuts this promo on Orton, and you can tell, man, like, it's so sincere. Like, it's worked, obviously, but it's so sincere. Like, how big a fan he was of Edge, how he was watching the return as a fan, because who the fuck wasn't in that moment? I mean, I remember Rhea Ripley's tweet saying she was freaking out. You know, and like Kevin Owens, being a Canuck, being like big into the Canadian wrestling scene, you know, with Jericho, Edge, and stuff like that, grinding on the indies. A career like Edge's meant a lot to him, and he says, you know, I was sitting at home when Edge retired, you know, watching it on TV, and I was thinking, damn, not only does that suck for him, but that sucks for me, because I wanted to share the ring with him. I wanted us to have that moment together, and now we never will. And when he returned, I got that spark back thinking, well, maybe the dream isn't dead on the table, and then Orton comes in and he takes it away from everybody. So he said, you know, Matt Hardy tried to get it out of you 2 weeks ago, you attacked him, and then he tried to get it out of you again last week, and, you know, you really attacked him last week. So, you know, why? That's what everybody wants to know, is why. Orton's like, you don't want to go down this road. And Kevin's like, no, I'm going to go down this road, Petey. And Orton isn't engaging. So Kevin is like, you know what? I'm getting really sick and tired of asking you. I think these people are getting sick and tired of us talking. Why don't they see us fight? Crowd pops big for that. I'm actually really into that. A heel Orton versus babyface Owens. I'm like, let's do it. Orton's even like, let's do it, but not right now.
Yeah.
So what did you
Typical
think about
heel.
Owens? I know, right? What a D-bag. But what did you think of Kevin Owens' promo, man?
Oh, I thought Kevin was great. I thought that his sort of emotional plea to the universe was really cool. I really appreciate him kind of, you know, he's almost kind of even pointing out the importance of representation in a way, because like obviously, you know, it's not like, you know, Canadians are like a scrutinized or oppressed group in the United States by any means, but you know, just this idea that he saw this Canadian guy making it big, and he saw that and he was like, I can do that too, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly, man. And dude, I can't speak for you, but I feel like Kevin is in his fucking pocket right now as a babyface, like doing like really quality work. I haven't been this into Kevin Owens, no lie, since he first interrupted John Cena.
Yep.
Like, this is some good shit he's doing, and I don't want to do.
Bro, isn't it just wonderful to see these guys that worked on the indies for all these years showing what the benefit is to that level of experience?
Dude, absolutely. Because I'm telling you, indie workers are the closest thing you're going to get today. Not that they don't exist anymore, but it really is the closest thing you're going to get today of like the Benoits, the Jerichos, the Guerreros, the journeymen back in the day whose education was just, oh, I did Mexico, I did Japan, and now I'm doing the U.S. Like,
yep.
you pretty much get that same level of sophistication with that kind of indie education. And I think what's even more heartening, dude, as like passionate wrestling fans as you and I are, and as people listening to this are, which I guess we'll do a roll call after this game because I have no idea who's even here. But
Scott, Ace, Paul, Javaris. I think I saw Foster earlier.
Fucking awesome to see all you guys, especially you, Ace, because I know we were talking lately about getting you back in these things, and he is part of the mass tagging list now, so I'm never going to forget you again, Ace, and I'm glad you're able to join us here. But yeah, this game's over. We did very well. So hi, everybody. Glad you're joining us. But yeah, the point I wanted to make was I think it's really heartening for people that are like so passionate about wrestling as we all are to see that these guys that we've been watching grinding on the indies, like their best work hasn't even been done yet because we're watching it unfold before our eyes.
Yeah.
And I think this has been amazing work that Kevin Owens has been doing. Like, this is the kind of work where if somehow like Brock retains at Mania, which we're going to have the big Mania discussion, obviously, for preview predictions, you know, in a few weeks, But like if Brock would retain, I would want Kevin Owens to be his next opponent. I've been telling you, man, I want babyface KO versus heel Brock Lesnar. I think they could tell a really good story. I'm gonna pick a team if you're cool with that. Okay, you pick the team. And I just think it would be absolutely awesome. So, dude, like I am right there with you. And that's why I was so fucking pumped. I got goosebumps when he came back as a babyface the first time, and it sucked that the turn got cut short. Even though I'll always support KO, but this face run, oh my god, I really,
it feels kind of special, don't it?
It really does. Like I really want to see him in that WWE title picture because he's never won the WWE title. He is a former Universal Champion. I'd like to see him go for that company gold. But yeah, this was a great first segment, and we follow it up with another great segment, although I wanted to get into this with you a bit because it was Charlie Caruso, Zelina Vega, and Angel Garza.
Yeah.
And we pretty much essentially, just kind of get down to brass tacks, establish Angel Garza as this ladies' man character, to be precise. I had a little slip of the tongue there. Referred to as a Lothario. Great job, man. And all that stuff. I think he kissed Charlie Caruso's hand, didn't he?
Yes.
When he's like,
did.
"Oh, Charlie, Charlie, with you, business is always pleasure."
Yep.
And it's like, damn, son, yeah, working that game. But you pointed out in the Discord that it's just a bit weird that Garza would have this Lothario character, this ladies' man character, just a short while after doing an amazing in-ring proposal that totally blew Cena and Nikki out of the water.
Yeah.
To his girlfriend on NXT. So, did you want to maybe go a bit into that? Like, are you totally opposed to this character? Even though he's just still so good in ring and they're allowing him to show that, where are you with Garza as his presentation on Raw is concerned?
I fucking love Garza. My only oh fuck. Well,
we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Your only
my only concern though is how Vince is. If he finds something that he likes, he will shove it down our throats. He will drag it out to the extreme. And I just don't want for it to lead to Angel Garza, making out with a bunch of random women on Raw, knowing that his fucking fiance is sitting in the back probably crying herself to death.
Yeah. I would hate that too. Although the funny thing is, it would... Oh, wow. Okay, that was too high. I was going to say, that's some trickery there. It would be interesting for almost a modern day, although obviously not as X-rated, but a Val Venus character, but with work rate. And that's kind of what they want Garza to be.
Not a piece of shit human being behind the character.
Yeah, fuck Sean Morley. But yeah, man, I'm not opposed to that idea. I just don't know if I'm in favor of Garza being the one to realize that idea.
Yeah.
Given what we know. That said, though, I really do like the tandem of him and Zelina as business partners. I
really wonder what they're gonna do with Andrade when he gets back.
I really hope it's not an awkward third wheel kind of thing, because I would really love a united front with those three.
My god, this shot was pristine.
Let's take a look at it.
Look at this precision, dude. This precision was dope as hell. I got it right between the end of the goal and Wolfman. Boom.
Beautiful. Beautiful job, dude. And speaking of beautiful job, I just have to commend Angel Garza on the delivery and just everything else. And Zelina, too, their promo styles, because she's very, sarcastic and cutting. Garza, obviously very, flirtatious and playful with that side of arrogance. It works. It really works. I think they play off of each other well. I don't think there's any awkwardness between them. There's definitely a synergy, I think is the word I'm looking for between them right now. And that's why I want Andrade to augment it, not diminish it when he comes back.
My concern is will it be oh, Zelina's moved on from you, she thinks she's found the next bigger, better thing? Or will it be oh, now that Andrade's back, Angel Garza is secondary and she's gonna start making sure to take care of Andrade first, and there's gonna be a storyline where Angel gets jealous? Or are they gonna try and make a tag team war? There are so many different ways they could go with it. Oh wow.
That was
and I'm just really curious how they're gonna handle it. Really curious.
I just I want them to face off, right? I want Garza and Andrade to face off because I do think that's a money matchup, especially in the mid card, upper mid card. I do want them to gel for a little while though. I want to savor it. I really want to see these guys as a team And then I think when the match does happen, to me, Garza should be the one to go baby. But maybe they'll surprise me.
Go ahead. Yes.
Set them up to knock themselves down.
Yes.
But yeah, like maybe they'll surprise me with Andrade going baby, which I'm also not opposed to. But I just think Garza, we got a taste of it on NXT, and I'm like, ooh, that's really rich territory. I feel like for when they really want to commit and explore that route. But yeah, I just want a little bit of the team first, and then you could kill each other all you want. I just need that temporary alliance. Let's see, can I turn it around? Oh damn. So yeah, I thought the promo was great. I thought everything there was great. Really, really loving everything that's happening right now with Angel Garza on Raw. It feels like a great fit. And then we transition from that to his match with Humberto, who they also made sure to point out in the in their promo that there are just some family members that you're embarrassed by, that like are kind of the embarrassment of the clan. And they make it pretty clear that Humberto is that embarrassment. So they make the match personal. And then we get to the match, and I mean, dude, it's Humberto and Garza. Like, obviously, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Words need not be spoken.
Exactly. Like, everything's gonna be clean. Everything. I'm trying to stay at a consistent distance from the mic. I apologize, everybody. When we game, I kind of move around everywhere. But it's gonna look clean. It's gonna look crisp. Everything's gonna be fantastic. Those two, I think, had such an inspired matchup, and I think it says a lot with how they look. I know Foster even said in the Discord at one point, there's too much handsome in the ring right now.
Yeah.
I think between their look, how they do things, the idea that this kind of stuff that they do, which nothing they did was like incredibly novel or anything, but that in 2020 it could still get a "this is awesome" chant, because it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I feel like how these guys do it is just in such an engaging way. The Spanish fly that Garza hit on Humberto was gorgeous. I love too that was only because Zelina got involved, being an effective manager. Got a manager that not only talks, but, gets involved. You'll love to see it. And so I thought that was really well done.
Nope.
But again, another finish for Humberto, weirdly enough, where like he does a pin exchange with a guy, but he comes out on the losing end of that pin exchange.
Yep.
That happened with
It's
him and Andrade.
definitely that story of like he's still like this young kid. He's still learning his way around. It's like a rookie mistake kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, Ashton, because it was the same thing with him and Andrade on the Royal Rumble pre-show.
Yep.
Andrade caught him. And yeah, like that was just very interesting to me that they would go that route. But you know what? It protects Carrillo in a babyface way.
And I love too that Carrillo hasn't been talking lately. They've been having Zelina do all the talking in this feud almost. Like 85% of the talking in this feud has been done by Zelina Vega. And like 12% was Rey Mysterio, and then the other 3% is a combination of Humberto and Angel and Andrade.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I think that's how you protect Humberto and build him up. I mean, obviously, you're going to be a lot better off if you're a talker and you can talk people into the building, obviously.
Yep.
But I think if you're creative enough and you really care about a project enough, not everybody needs to be a talker. I think you can get away with like that handful of acts that it's like, okay, we'll give them a manager or we'll put them in a mask or just something. And that'll be kind of our mechanism to get over their lack of speaking ability, because Humberto's got it in the ring and he's got a great look.
Yeah.
Great look. Gonna pick a team. But obviously the talking is deficient right now. So I think when you just have Zelina take the wheel, that's just so much better for the flow of the feud. You can still get everybody over, because Zelina talking and cutting Humberto down is getting Humberto more over with people than if Humberto tried to make his own case.
Yes.
And like that's how you
because
know
she's
that it's working.
great at talking and she's great at getting heat, and that's all Humberto needs is somebody to just be like, hey, hate me, and then he comes out and beats him up and it's like, oh, we like you now.
Exactly.
It's the Prince Puma method, y'all. It's the Prince Puma method. Let him just dazzle in the ring. Don't let him talk. Let other people get heat as far as, like the talking aspect of the feud goes, and just let him do his thing in the ring and be awesome. That's all it takes.
There's a reason why Lucha Underground was able to get away with a whole season and some change of their top babyface not saying a fucking word.
Yep.
But after that, because again, Garza does get the win. Yes.
Great job.
Garza does get the win. We get a video package for Shayna Baszler, really hyping her up. You'll love to see it. And then we get Ricochet versus Luke Gallows to hype up Ricochet's matchup at Super Showdown against Brock Lesnar. Yep. They're just having Ricochet go against bigger guys to kind of create this idea like, oh, you know, Brock's a bigger guy, but that doesn't mean he's insurmountable. Even though, all due respect to Luke Gallows, because I think he's a solid worker, he's no Brock Lesnar. Like,
dude, I have been noticing lately, Jerry Lawler on commentary has been doing an amazing job at playing sort of the foil for Ricochet, where he'll be like, oh, I don't think you can do it. And then when Ricochet does something crazy, he'll be like, how'd he do that? You know, like, I don't like Lawler as a person, but he's been so good on commentary lately.
He's been solid, man. He's absolutely been solid. Now, I'm going to be honest. I really don't have much to say about this match. It was just pretty quick. Ricochet, he gets the recoil on Gallows, and then he gets like a shooting star press off the top rope.
Yes.
Because I know he got a standing shooting star earlier that like didn't get the job done, so then he goes even higher.
And that was another Lawler thing where Lawler was like, no way, he's too far away. And then Ricochet did it. He was like, how'd he do that? It was so good.
Absolutely.
I've really been digging Lawler on commentary these last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's really done well in that role. Like he's kind of in a rhythm right now a little bit.
He is. It's kind of. I almost want to say that it's probably got a lot to do with how fucking good Tom and Byron are. That like they almost bring out the best in Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like if you have 2 or 3 obnoxious voices on commentary, it gets to be way too much. And it starts to really kind of grind at your gears. But if you have one obnoxious voice and that obnoxious voice happens to be rooting for the bad guy, it's perfect.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And dude, since we're speaking about commentary and having that little sidebar, I can't tell you how great it feels. And it's funny coming from me because I know like part of my shtick has always been like dogging on him for so long. But I just want to make clear, completely sincere, since we're in a chill space, I fucking love Tom Phillips, and it's great to hear him again on my fucking TV.
Yes.
He is so good. Honestly, there are times I even prefer him to Morrow, if you want the truth. Like, I love Morrow's passion and his energy.
Morrow's is one of those things where, like, he's amazing if you're in the mood for that kind of commentary, but he's got, like, the very animated, very over-the-top, and if you're in the mood for it, it's perfect, but if you're not, it can get grating. But Tom, I'm never not in the mood for Tom Phillips, you know?
Tom is the perfect voice, temperament, and everything for this kind of role because you're talking weekly TV, which, I mean, NXT is as well, but, you know, you're talking, like, prime time, all that stuff. Like, he's got that prime time voice and disposition. Yes. Like, it works.
It does.
And Byron even. Like, Byron, I'll tell you, for a guy that, like, when he first started, I'm like, I could take it or leave it, he's strong in his spot. And that's not to underplay him, but, like, he's the middle guy.
Byron, sometimes he gets off little tiny, like barely noticeable one-liners that make me crack up.
Yeah, I'm really damn. That was a whiff by me there, folks.
Some just like silly little wholesome shit. Like he had one tonight. I wish I could remember it, but he had one tonight where Lawler said something like, "Oh, if this doesn't happen, then I'll do this." And Byron was just like, "Well, get your things ready," or something like that. And I was just like, "Oh my god, Byron, you're hilarious." He's so good.
Yeah, like he's definitely gotten in his groove as well. I just like the team right now.
Yes.
And you know, when Jerry first like came back into it, you could tell it was rough. But I think now they've all got a synergy with each other, and it helps immensely.
I would love to know how Jerry feels now that he's on commentary with, I would argue, 2 much more professional guys than when he started on Raw with Dio Madden and Vic Joseph.
Yeah.
I really feel like Tom and Byron are more like consummate professionals than, especially Dio, admittedly. I like Dio's shit posting on commentary as much as the next guy, but I think Lawler at least does not relate to Dio nearly enough to enjoy being on commentary with him. So
oddly enough, I feel like Dio might have been a bit ahead of his time as far as commentary, because I could see his commentary being very attractive, like in the next couple of years. Like that's the kind of brand of
that's the fucking train that Impact needs to get on. Ditch Josh Matthews' obnoxious, intolerable ass, and go get like some like random go get Dio Madden. Like who cares? Like go get somebody that can connect to that younger audience. Somebody that can connect to the internet shit posting culture. You know what I mean?
Dude, absolutely. No, because like even I never spoke much about Dio Madden, especially in a space like this, but like I think it's really it would be really interesting for a wrestling company to have somebody in the booth with their finger so on the pulse of the mainstream as Dio Madden is without crowbarring it in.
Yeah.
As WWE is so fond to do.
Yep.
I stand by it. I think Dio Madden was just a tad ahead of his time. I think there are places where they'd probably be ready for him right now, but I don't think WWE specifically is ready for that brand of commentary just yet.
No.
Which in a way is sad.
I also feel like Dio would almost have to be like a heel color commentator.
Yeah.
So the fact that you put him on there with Lawler, that's kind of a clash a little bit.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But yeah,
but man, at the same time, like, I love the way that they wrote him off commentary, and now like he's using the way, like the storyline that they used to write him off commentary. They're fucking using that. He's using that as promo material at like Florida Circuit house shows.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
He's talking about how he's gonna fucking tame the beast and shit. Like he's talking about how he's gonna come after Brock Lesnar. You know.
Hey, if Matt Riddle can do it, why not I? Right?
Yeah, hell yeah, I love it.
But dude, speaking of making programs. We go to the OC backstage. You know, Gallows is frustrated. Really, him and Anderson, because they both gotten their asses handed to them now by Ricochet. They're frustrated. And AJ's like, guys, we need to get our heads together. Oh, why's that, Uncle Alan? Well, you know, think about it. If a miracle happens and Ricochet happens to beat Brock Lesnar, that means he's WWE champion. And that means I won't be far behind him, which means I'll be WWE champion. And then you guys, you're the best tag team in the world, right? Well, yeah. Well, act like it, because it's WrestleMania, and we got to plant our flag at the top. And, like, he's giving this inspired speech, like, OC can take over this.
Was that a direct quote? Did he actually say all that?
Well, he, in a roundabout way, because I know he did say, like, plant the flag, and he did talk about if Ricochet became WWE champion, he would be following close behind.
Wow, Uncle Alan.
They didn't say Uncle Alan. That was me ad-libbing because I'm just feeling myself.
I call him Uncle Alan all the time too. Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a team. But yeah, they're like really, you know, trying to get in the zone. It's WrestleMania season. Aleister Black walks by, and AJ was like, more or less like, I was mid promo, thanks. Yeah. And he like calls out Aleister like, oh, you know, you get a couple wins and you think you're a big shot. Alan totally channeling a me. You think you're hot shit? You're not even a warm fart, Aleister. And they say, well, maybe we should just remind him. And then they essentially just beat Aleister down.
They do. And I love the lingering shot on Aleister actually showing him getting up and recovering from the beatdown. Because it's like this whole thing of just like, if you get knocked down, stand up. That kind of like, it's very babyface. And I love that they're making it a point to really show him in a babyface light. Like, even this like scary dark guy who's like, you know, kind of presents as a Satanist can be a good guy too.
And just to emphasize what you said, like in my own way, like I love that they showed it and they didn't have Aleister cutting a promo saying when I get knocked down, I'm going to stand up. Like they literally showed him doing it.
Yeah,
like,
show don't tell. Show don't tell.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's amazing. That's amazing to me. Yep. So we go from that to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Admittedly, this is a bit sketchy. I know that Heyman had a line pretty much like relating to Ricochet's chances that there is no chance. Like we could talk about maybes, but if my like he said something.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
That's what he said. If my aunt had balls, I was trying to think because I didn't want to be like too inappropriate, like out of context. And Jerry was dying. I think he actually.
Yes, he was.
That wasn't like
he was like, "Oh, that was a good one."
That reminds me of a joke I would make. Yeah, Jerry, simmer down. But Heyman said, "I've only gotten one prediction wrong in 7 or 8 years."
Laugh at a transphobic joke.
And that's kind of why I cringed a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, Paul, come on now, come on." But yeah,
you're about a decade late, brother.
Yeah. But the sentiment behind it, saying, you know what, we can talk about chances, but we can talk about a lot of things. This is reality. I can appreciate the sentiment, just not so much the packaging.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know, it was a fiery promo. I've already talked about how, like, I've got nothing against, well, you know, I don't really know how I feel about Heyman anymore. I think it's best to say that I'm ambivalent towards him right now. But that I really would like to see a changing of the guard. I want some new content in terms of like Heyman either get more involved in matches, get Brock in some kind of new direction, or
his guarantee or his spoiler, I should say, tonight was kind of kind of vague, though. I feel like he didn't include as a part of the spoiler that Drew was not going to beat Brock for the title.
I guess they feel like they want to handle Drew on separate terms and that Ricochet is the focus. And that is the one thing, like, I am so happy for Ricochet to get this opportunity. I know he was kind of low-key calling fans out on Twitter because he quote-tweeted something that said, this hit's different. I'm happy about him getting his push. I think what I don't like, honestly, is that great job, man, is that the Saudi show, to me, is cutting the legs just a little bit of Drew Brock. But even then, what they did with Drew tonight, I thought was great. Yes. So I can't even complain too much. And hey, if Ricochet gets a little rub along the way, what's the harm? I don't think anybody really gets hurt. Everybody kind of benefits. So it was a solid promo from Heyman to kind of hype it up. I still feel like, obviously, Brock's going to win because, I mean, Brock Drew, I've been talking about it with my friends. Even just my friend Angel today, who's actually going to WrestleMania. He even said, like, the card's kind of disappointing me right now, but we both agreed that, like, Drew Brock felt like a Mania match. It felt like a big title fight. There is no way they're giving that up to tell some, like, crowbarred in Cinderella story of Ricochet overcoming the odds. Like, this is where the money is. But Ricochet could still get a rub without winning the title. Like, this is just good business all around. And so I appreciated the promo.
And you know who understands that more than anyone?
Who's that?
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. You know, whatever you can say about the man, he gets that. And he understands that, like, yeah, obviously Drew is the project here, is the priority, but that doesn't mean we have to throw Ricochet out with the bathwater. And I really do appreciate that. With you scoring, I want to take a look at what the next segment was. It was Eric Rowan versus Aleister Black.
Yes.
What did you think about this match? Because I feel like I've been opening a lot of the discussions, but since you know what the segment is, I'd like you to give your thoughts first.
Yes, dude. I loved that they had Aleister still win this. Like, I was so worried going into this, like, oh my God, are they really going to have Aleister's first loss be to Eric Rowan because of an OC beatdown? And it was like, I really kind of felt the tension at certain points. But towards the home stretch, I was confident that Aleister was going to win. I was like, you know what? No, this is shaping up like Aleister's got this. He's got this in the bag. I love that they actually had Rowan kind of do a little like self-damage there with the cage. Like he, ran into the steel steps and ended up knocking the cage over and everything. That was interesting. My mom was on the edge of her seat. She was like, oh, are we going to finally get to see the thing in that cage? She was excited about it. And I thought it was really well done. I love the way that they're pushing Aleister right now. I'm really excited to see what kind of plans they have for him at Mania.
Dude, I am so fucking hyped. So first off, let me work backwards a little bit. I thought the match was solid. In fact, so much so that I even came away liking Rowan a little bit in the sense that, you know what, this is the perfect spot for him. Just this dominant mid-card monster that can be a heater to these guys that are more priorities than he is. He's really good in that spot. I really enjoyed this match. Yeah. There was something about Aleister being vulnerable yet defiant that just really worked for me. Yeah. And I like, too, that, because you want to keep Rowan strong in his spot so that he can keep making your priorities long-term feel and look important. Great job, man. They protected him really well because you could almost say that Rowan beat Rowan. He pretty much had the layup with Aleister being injured, but at one point in the match, the cage gets knocked over, and he gets so concerned with it, he's like, I'm sorry, I love you. He goes in, he immediately eats a black mass. Again, it takes 2 black masses to beat Rowan, which, again, no better way to make a guy look more legit than that. But, dude, the promo Aleister cut after the win is what I really loved, because I feel like you and I were even talking on a catch-up commentary how you didn't want the promos to get in Bray Wyatt territory.
Yeah, and he addressed that, basically.
Yeah, I even wanted to say to you in the Discord, dude, he low-key called you out.
Yeah.
He was like, in case anybody thinks I'm being dark or cryptic, and I'm just over here side-eyeing Ash, I'm like, ooh. And it's just like, AJ Styles, next week, you and I fight. And I'm
dude, and I love it. It's really interesting to me, too, because it's like, okay, well, for whatever reason, we've been doing the club versus Ricochet in the last 2 weeks, but we never got Ricochet versus AJ. I know we've had that match in the past. I'm not trying to say it's never happened, but in this particular angle, we didn't get that match. So I wonder if they're trying to save that maybe for Chamber, or what, but right now we're getting AJ and Alistair, and that has me very excited because that tells me they're ready to really give Alistair the rocket ship.
Dude, yeah. And see, this is my fucking thing. See now
I wonder how many
get,
matches these guys had on the indies while AJ was in between Impact and WWE.
That's a great question, man. I'd be curious to know that myself.
I'm gonna see if I can find something.
Yeah, I'll let you look real quick since we're between games. I'll take out my battery pack just momentarily. I'll even check in on Twitch.
I'm just gonna look up Tommy End on AJ Styles' cage match page.
Just looking and catching up here on the Twitch. We did get one highlighted message from Javaris. He said, Lawler, good commentary. Ew, he's just doing it for us right now, Javaris. It's just he's just making it click right now.
Yeah.
So you said one match.
Yeah, one match in 2015 in WXW, and AJ beat Tommy End in 18 minutes 51 seconds.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, I can't wait. So just to finish off my thoughts, because I was going to say something about AJ, and I'm glad I got to see Javaris' highlighted message. But what I was going to say was, now I care about AJ Styles again. I'm going to ready up, by the way. Now I care about AJ Styles again, because I'll tell you, if he's not going to be in the main event picture, I don't want to see him facing guys, unless they're really good, that don't...
I'm sorry, did you say you were going to pick a team?
No, I said I was readying up.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm probably going to pick a team, when you're
ready. Yeah, we're good.
But anyway, Randy Orton doesn't need the rub, and I feel like I only really like him in ring when he's trying, and I never really can tell when that is anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you when it is. It's when you like him.
Exactly. And
if you're enjoying a Randy Orton match, it's probably because he's trying.
I'm hoping he tries it at presumably Mania, because I really wanted Edge to be AJ's Mania opponent. But, if AJ isn't going to be in the title picture, if he isn't going to be in the main event, and if he's not working with guys in the upper card that I'm like, ooh, they could have really good matches together, this is what I want to see him do. I want him to work with the pet projects. I want him to work with the priorities. And the idea that Alistair is getting that nod has me excited as fuck. I am so ready for that fucking matchup. Great job, man. I am so ready for that fucking matchup, because I think it could just own, and I don't even think it'll be a full matchup. I want them to kind of stretch this out. Dude, I wouldn't have any qualms, truthfully, about Alistair being AJ's opponent at Mania, at all. So we'll have to see how next week goes, but I am very curious how that's all going to turn out. And then in the meantime, that's going to go in. And then in the meantime, we get Drew's sit-down interview.
Oh my God, so good. And Mark is here.
Oh, Mark, welcome, my friend. Welcome. We're just chilling, playing some Rocket League and talking Raw, which I really enjoyed tonight. I actually prompted Ashton, hey, do you want to do a stream tonight? He was like, hell yeah. So we're just here. Glad you could join us. So, dude, you seem really enthused about the sit-down interview Drew did. What all did you like about it?
I love it when WWE gets transparent. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Granted, they did definitely use some creative liberties with this, but because, I don't think Drew McIntyre volunteered to be a member of the fucking three-man band. But, from an in-universe kayfabe perspective, this was perfect.
Dude, I love how in this one segment, you learned everything you needed to about Drew McIntyre if you were somehow behind.
Yes.
And, this is the kind of segment, and I say this as, the biggest compliment, this is the kind of segment tailor-made for the casual viewer to me.
Yep.
If you're just what's going on for Mania season?
This is the kind of segment that AEW needs to learn how to fucking do.
Absolutely. You want to talk about establishing talents in just one segment, one tight segment? This is how you do it.
Yep. If they would have done this for Hangman Page, they could have put the title on him instead of Jericho.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, dude, here's the thing. Not only does it serve as casual fans, but it gets us hardcore fans even more pumped because we're seeing the journey. And we're like, wow, he's really come all this way. Can he finish it? Can he win the title? It's so great. And I got to tell you,
it's one of those things where it's one thing to watch the journey as it happens. It's a very rewarding experience, but it's another thing entirely to see the entire journey kind of flash before your eyes over the course of a few minutes.
Precisely.
That's why people make compilation videos on YouTube and stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I loved, and dude, what's working for me too, and we've been talking about this. the way Drew conducts himself as a babyface when he's in front of a live crowd, you can see the charisma, you can see the passion, the energy, like all that. But I love here in this like tight, intimate setting in this interview, like he just seemed very earthy, very very relatable.
He's giving
like,
off literal face of the company vibes.
He really is. He's
really giving off those Cena vibes. Wow,
that just kind of snuck up on me there. But yeah, like, dude, and I gotta say, maybe it's recency bias, but I feel like it's coming off better than when they were like grooming Seth for that spot personally. Like, yes.
Seth could never really get a crowd as wild as Drew can without it feeling forced and hammy.
Dude, I'm still thinking that Claymore countdown at WrestleMania is just going to make the roof blow off because they've been building him so well. And the thing is, they've made Drew look like such a monster. I really feel like it's going to be a fight with Brock. I don't think this is just going to be another ragdoll job. At least I hope not.
No, Drew's one of the few guys on the roster that's bigger than Brock.
Yeah. So, like, I could see him, like, if Brock tried to German him, just, like, elbow the shit out of him to get out of that German kind of thing. That's the kind of match I want. I want it to be, like, a fight to get every move off, without it actually
Strong
being
style, baby. Or better yet, King's Road style, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's our fucking speed. So, Drew, talking about it and talking about the very real moments of, coming in, almost being treated and hailed as, like, this prodigy that was going to just take the world by storm. And then you end up getting fired. And he's like, this is not going to be how the WWE remembers me as the guy that they fired. And right before they fired me, I was in, playing freaking air guitar. And I love that. I love that it just kind of
disrespect to Tanahashi.
I know, right? But
and Eric Bugenhagen, shit.
Yeah, Boogs. Oh man. Well, telling you. And speaking of, I am really excited for NXT this Wednesday, but that's neither here nor there. Because we're getting the freaking Bianca Charlotte matchup. That's probably the most excited I've been for a Charlotte matchup since I don't know, ever.
Yeah. at least the title match against Natalya in NXT back in the day at Takeover.
The
first ever NXT Takeover, Natalya versus Charlotte with Bret Hart and Ric Flair at ringside for the NXT Women's Championship.
I know. I remember it mainly because I didn't drown my eyes in acid. But yeah.
Do you regret that?
Actually, no. No, it was a good match for what it was. Being sincere, I would just never want to see them do it again. In a way, I feel like
they've gotten worse.
I was even going to say it's not that much of a hot take. I feel like they've gotten worse since that match.
Especially Charlotte, like Natalya. She's kind of stagnant. I feel like Charlotte's gotten worse since then.
Definitely.
And you know why though? I think it's because in that match, she kind of just followed Natalya's lead. And Natalya, I don't think she's a very good wrestler, but I do think that she at least has like those sort of ring general qualities in the sense that like she can kind of take somebody who's less experienced and have them look good and kind of get them over and make sure that they put on a not incompetent match. I don't think she's a good wrestler because I don't think she's charismatic. I don't think that she's entertaining. But from like a mental aspect, from a mental standpoint, I do think that she's good there. And I think that she probably was more like the leader of that match and she more like put it together and stuff. But nowadays, Charlotte's got such a fucking ego that she would try and get all of her shit in and it would ruin the match.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that didn't go in.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that Drew was just like, look, I don't care who went, and not even like in a heelish
Paul,
way.
Dude, before you continue, I just want to quote Paul here. Natty would have known Kyrie was hurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly believe that to be true.
Yeah. She would have taken so much better care of Kyrie than Charlotte did. For sure.
Yeah. Congratulations again to Kyrie on her marriage. I'm assuming she's on her honeymoon now. But yeah, with Drew, he just openly said, like, I don't care if it's Ricochet. I don't care if it's Brock. Like, this is the title match I've been waiting for. This is the opportunity I have been waiting for, and I'm going to make the most of it. And and again, he didn't say it in a heelish or dismissive way. He was just very honest. He's just like, my focus is on the Mania match that I really felt like I would have had so many years ago, but I had to scratch and claw for it. And now that it's here, I'm making the freaking most of it. So I really, really like that. I thought
we did get a highlighted message, by the way, from Noob & Co. He just said, "Hey guys, how's your weekend?" And my weekend was really, really chill, really fun, really chill.
Yeah, absolutely, Nubico. I enjoyed my weekend as well. Had a great day today too, especially now that I get to hang out with all of your faces. Um, but yeah, Drew, I thought just did really well in this segment, and then we go from that to the winter premiere of Truth TV.
Oh God.
Dude, I like truth is good. Truth is good to me. Like I'm good with this comedy. You're gonna want to leave.
Let's
brother.
just play. Let's just play it. Let's just.
Okay,
play
you want to just play? Sure, man. Absolutely, not a problem.
Yeah. Truth, like dude, it was like I think like 6 years ago. I actually made a comment on a Reddit thread talking about how Truth might be like the most underrated performer just because he's perpetually fucking over and he's a really good worker and an amazing talker and like even just recently I've talked about how like he could be a main eventer if they just decided to get behind him. Like Truth's the best. Truth might be the most universally beloved wrestler in the world right now that isn't Japanese.
Like he managed to do the impossible and actually make me not utterly hate a segment that Lana was a part of because like he does get around to
Because he minimized Lana's existence in it.
Yeah, and even the
oh shit, dude! I was waiting for you. Why'd you back off?
Well, no, because I just this stage we haven't done it in so long. I just felt like it'd be better for just me to, and
job.
that's in. But anyway, so he introduces Lana and Lashley as the guests ultimately, and he goes in to ask them questions, and Lana's like, "Oh, Truth, we're not here for your stupid talk show. We're here because you have a match against my Bobby." And I'm just waiting for Bobby to just blow up on her and just dump her on live TV. Like,
dude, yeah, because even Truth commented, like, "What's wrong, Bobby? You look grumpy." Actually, it might not have been Truth. It might have been someone on commentary. It might have even been Lawler talking about how Truth or talking about how Bobby looked grumpy or something like that. And my mom and I both were just like, "Oh yeah, that's because he's with Lana."
Yeah, and I'm waiting for that to be the reason to like come out like in kayfabe to establish it. But dude, Truth here with the few fucking lines he got, and the remainder of the segment, fucking had me dying. Well, the thing is, Bobby is really, 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 really big, and I would rather just ask him questions than have a match.
Yeah.
And then because R-Truth is the Walter Cronkite of our time, which for those that don't know, Walter Cronkite was a famous journalist, especially in the Vietnam era. He says, "Hey Bobby, did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?" And Lana's just like, "Ring the bell! Ring the bell!" She's so over it. She's so done. And Bobby just looks like he's just so done with everything. Like, I came back to WWE to fight Brock. I ended up here. I don't know what fucking left turn I took, but somebody get me back on the goddamn highway.
Yeah. When did my career go so wrong?
But so the bell rings. Bobby's immediately looking to go on the attack, and Drew's like, "Whoa! Can I at least get my jacket off first?" And Bobby even is like, shrugs, like, "All right, fine, go ahead, man. Damn, I just wanna beat your ass up." And he doesn't even wait for Truth to get out of his jacket. He goes on the attack. Crowd boos. Truth gets a little bit of back and forth. And by the way, we're going to have another sidebar here related to this because he does the Cena-inspired stuff, like the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Yeah, and he goes for the attitude adjustment and everything.
Bro, I am going to tell you right now, like, I know it would suck because Truth's golden right now, and I don't think you should fuck with something that's golden, but just, like, because it's our space and this is just, like, an inconsequential sidebar, hearing that Elias might be seen as opponent, like, if we're going to give him, like, a mid-card type guy or whatever, I would honestly be more invested in Truth versus Cena than Cena versus Elias right now, and I'm not even kidding. Like,
why would you want them to go against each other? You want them in a tag team, maybe.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, depending on who the Raw Tag Team Champions are, I wouldn't mind Truth and Cena.
If it's still Seth and Murphy, I don't know.
I mean, Seth and Cena working together, I think that's high enough billing for where Rollins is right now to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Kick out that. Ooh, wow, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, like, really, I guess what I'm getting at is whether as opponents, partners, whatever, again, in just this completely hypothetical space, I'm more invested in Truth and Cena interacting right now than Cena Elias.
I also did see that they really were second guessing Cena and Elias working with each other because of how hot Elias is as a babyface. They don't want to turn him heel.
Yeah, like that would honestly be just completely inept to me. Like, I just don't understand why you would do that at all. But yeah, Lashley wins with a spear, a quick little matchup, but Truth just knows how to work a crowd. He's so endearing, so over. It's great stuff, and that's why I just really wanted to say, like, if you were to give him a Mania spot, like I would understand that, honestly, with how over he is. I feel like he would make that shit work. I've even heard, now I don't think this is true, and it might be, and in which case that's a pleasant surprise, but that Lesnar enjoyed working with Truth so much that he wanted more segments.
He like advocated for him. He was like, I want more segments with that guy.
Yeah, he makes me laugh. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
I like actually enjoying when I come here.
Funny man make Bork funny.
There you go.
That was my best impersonation of the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I didn't see this before, but kind of, by the way, 9 out of 10 impression there.
Ooh. I couldn't really do the double voice thing that they do for him, but yeah, thank you.
I didn't see this before, because we know in New York next week, Alistair's going to take on AJ, and I hope the New York crowd is hot, because it seems like they're going to get a solid card, because I also saw that Humberto and Ray are going to be tagging up against Garza and Andrade.
Yep.
So I did not know about this guy.
Yeah,
So
I've actually, isn't Andrade actually going to be back in time for the Saudi show?
He is. He's going to be a part of that gauntlet for the trophy or whatever. So great to see Andrade back.
What the fuck that thing is?
I don't know either. Probably just another meaningless trinket. But then we go.
You mean like that random ass green championship belt that Braun won when he won the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Yeah, exactly that. Actually, exactly that. But we go from that. So I'm really excited for the New York card at present. We'll see what.
That's literally just next week's episode of Raw, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they're loading it.
We go from that. We go from that to the women's contract signing, which I gotta tell you,
I think that was my personal favorite segment of the night, and I think it was my mom's favorite segment of the night too, because she I think Shayna Baszler is just straight up her favorite performer in WWE, if not Elias, definitely Shayna.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be truthful, and I want to be careful with my words here. I just felt like with that many women in the ring at one time, many of whom I'm actually a fan of, but also Lawler, I thought the segment honestly had a lot of potential to be cringe. Like, I was honestly worried about the segment. It turned out, I think, to be one of the best things on the show. But I want to give your thoughts first, since you said, like, you and your mom shared it as kind of like the favorite segment. Just, like, what all did you feel about it? I know you really like Shayna in it. That's obvious. I'm picking a team, by the way. But, like, anything else you kind of want to share about your thoughts on that segment?
Okay. So my 3 favorite moments. First of all, and I'm going in order from least to most, as far as like, okay, I should, rather than least, I should say third favorite to most favorite. Third favorite, Asuka counting in Japanese, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each Nissan Shigo. That was great. And talking about no Shayna and that kind of stuff. And then Lawler being like, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, dude, really? You're that slow that you're not even sure what she's talking about? But then my second favorite moment, Liv fucking diving at Ruby over the table when the fight started to break out. That was amazing. And the best moment of the entire night, bite me.
Dude, yes. You can't tell me that Asuka, like, isn't one of, like, just the major players that maybe even low-key is kind of taken for granted. She's just
the best.
She's so strong in every spot she's given. And I gotta say, man, I'm just gonna kind of echo my sentiments that I expressed in the Discord. You know, like, that segment accomplished me being excited for Shayna just as an entity, as a performer. When I feel like I already, like, really liked her, don't get me wrong, but I hadn't been jazzed about her, probably because it was so played out in NXT. But, like, this feels like a bit of a different Shayna in a way, or at least like a revamped Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, vamped. Did you just say vamped about a girl that bit someone's neck?
I did, and now that I realize it, I'm gonna do what I do best and double down. Fuck y'all. Yeah. So
I was expecting you to say own it rather than double down, but both apply.
Yeah. So I'm into this this revamped or rebooted, if you prefer to avoid the pun.
Why would we avoid such a perfect pun?
I know. But also, and I think this is a bit more difficult, at least to me, to accomplish. It got me interested in, and I'll say it like I did on Discord, like, fragmented Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Because obviously Ruby's just kind of laughing at Liv. Liv dove at Ruby.
Dude, that I would have go. That's a GIF and a half right there.
what I love about that, just to praise Liv for a moment, because we talk about this all the time, and I actually feel like a salient point will come out talking about it the
I keep
1001 time.
envisioning that dive in my mind, and it's funnier every loop.
Yeah, I just appreciate that Liv did that, because with a company where we always talk about how they push the blondes and stuff, like, how else are you going to stand out from the Lanas and the Charlottes? And I would never imagine either of them doing something like that.
No.
So the idea that Liv kind of
the way that Liv is going to stand out from the rest of the blondes in WWE is shit like that, where she shows off her sort of low key kind of under wraps athleticism that people don't really expect from her, and B, her selling. Her selling is, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think that Liv Morgan is the second best seller and bumper among the main roster women in WWE, behind only Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Liv has got a lot of upside. I think we're seeing a little bit more of that upside each week, which has really been like a great part of the show to experience.
Yeah.
So Fragmented Riot Squad, especially too with Sarah Logan, who desperately could use something that may go in if they don't.
Yeah, dude, that was actually really interesting, just seeing her interact with the girls, because there was a point when Liv was like all up in Ruby's face, and she had the contract, and she was like staring her down, and Sarah looked like she was about to jump up and attack Liv. But then when the actual fight broke out, Sarah was like pulling Liv off Ruby, but she wasn't attacking anyone. And eventually Sarah was just standing there alongside Shayna, just watching everything break down. It was hilarious.
See, I feel like that's really smart, because what they're setting themselves up for reminds me very much of when Legacy was in the chamber, or at least two of them, because it was Ted and Orton in 2009, where it's like, okay, you're in the match now. It may even be a point where Sarah Logan gets a very opportune release. Maybe everybody else is down. What are you going to do? Are you going to attack Liv? Are you going to attack Ruby? Are you going to try and unite the two? And then the three of you clear out the chamber. What are you going to do? They need to save her decision for the chamber match, because that'll be one of the actual highlights, you know, in the match itself. And I think it's very smart that they realize that, and they're kind of withholding what exactly Sarah thinks, because even when she was remarking, she just said very interesting as it relates to her former Riot Squad brethren, you know, being in the chamber with her. Already said how Asuka killed it. God, dude, the stare down with Shayna and the bite me and the smile. Like, oh my God, Asuka, you're perfect. Because
I fucking love her. She's amazing.
Dude, that alone, and their program, I no later are they going to be feuding than maybe the summer, but like I'm already into it.
They're about to have a program right the fuck now. Like, if you're not seeing that coming, I think you might be, and maybe I was too prior to tonight, in denial a little bit, because they're clearly going to feed Asuka to Shayna to build her up for Becky.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like they're gonna do the dance at Chamber. Obviously, I'm talking about.
Well, you're talking about is as a part of a 6-woman match. I'm talking about like they're probably gonna have more than one singles match against each other between Chamber and Mania.
I disagree. I feel like that's not coming until like after the stuff with Becky is done. At least, I could be wrong though. I could absolutely be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But I think there is a huge storyline there, which they'll probably not capitalize on, because I don't think they see Asuka that way. But I got goosebumps seeing that stare down. Like, yeah. I really
and
did.
We've learned, you know, I looked it up on Cage Match. Those two have never interacted in a ring before, ever. They've never teamed together. They've never been on opposing sides of a tag team match. They've never been in the ring with each other at all, period.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler and Asuka have never interacted in a wrestling ring in their careers.
I mean, dude, like, I got so hyped seeing those two and Asuka just, like, wanting the fight.
Yes.
That, like, you put that on the marquee for SummerSlam.
Yes.
I'm fucking there,
oh
dude.
My God, yes.
Like,
you know what, though? I don't know if they'll be able to, because I don't know if Asuka's still going to be on Raw after the shakeup in April.
That is true. I always, like, it's not that I forget about the shakeup. I just always forget about it. You know, when we're in the midst of, overlook it at like, all these times. But yeah, dude, like that is a marquee matchup, even on a Big Four show, and that's the biggest compliment I could give to both Asuka and Shayna. Yeah. That you could put them on a SummerSlam, a Mania, whatever. They are one of the standout matches because of how prestigious those names are.
I'm curious how you feel about Foster's take that he just had, in terms of character and promos, I think I like this Asuka more than NXT Asuka. How do you feel about that?
I would agree with that completely.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of
You know what though? I think if we're speaking strictly from like an entertainment standpoint, I don't know though. There was just something special about Asuka as a champion, just bullying other people and being kind of a dickhead.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I do agree with it though. Like even trying to remove the recency bias glasses, I do still think that yeah, I think I'm gonna sign on. I think I agree.
So after this brawl, because they all just start brawling, Liv and Ruby are yelling at each other, which was really initiated like by the Dive.
By the way, I hate to do this, but Asuka counting in Japanese has got to go as my third favorite moment from this match. My third favorite moment from this segment was Asuka throwing Natalya away to confront Shayna.
Yes, throw her away like the afterthought she fucking is. Yes. I'm gonna pick a team, dude.
I loved it, dude. Asuka absolutely stole the show with Liv being an honorable mention in this segment.
Definitely. And then as the ring clears and Shayna's kind of laughing and like wiping her hands like clean of all this, like, not my monkeys, not my circus.
Yeah.
Even though I am going to be in that chamber, like none of you were gunning for me, so I got a problem.
Yep. Well, it seems like Natalya
hits.
might be now.
Yeah, which
But dude, yes, you brought up Becky. Becky's music hits. This was an amazing pull apart fight. We don't get enough pull apart fights in women's feuds.
No, and these two, I don't know which division I like more between the SmackDown Women's division and the Raw, but I think I'm leaning towards Raw right now, and not just because Kyrie's in it. Like it's not like that kind of thing. I just feel like the way that they're building things up, because Bayley is so good on SmackDown. As is Sasha when she's, going to be able to come back and be Sasha Banks. But even the undercard with, like, Liv and Ruby and all them, like, I really, really dig the Raw Women's division. And that whole segment was a snapshot of the division. And I got to say, it was freaking beautiful. I really, really am about it right now.
And we have it for 2 more months before it gets shaken up.
Yep. God damn it. But, the pull-apart fight between Becky and Shayna was great. Becky showing she's not afraid of Shayna, bringing the fight to her. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that Shayna is going to win, inside the chamber. So much so that Shayna basically said it herself.
Yeah.
I'm a cage fighter. It's in a cage. Do the math. And Mark's here so he can literally do the math.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was a great segment. Definitely a high point of the show. We go from that to
before you move on, I do just want to say I wish we had more of these really good pull apart segments between women. And the only reason that I even add the qualifier really good on there is because I do the more I think about it, the more I do realize that we have had pull apart fights between women before. It's just the ones that I remember either involved Ronda Rousey or Charlotte, and neither of them are actually like people that I'm interested in seeing. So I'm not trying to shit too much on them as talents, although I'll openly shit on Charlotte. I'm going to give Ronda a break because she's not coming back, and I don't want to fucking curse anything. But yeah, I think it's more about just me being invested that makes the pull apart fight feel better. It makes it feel more intense. It makes it feel cooler. And I'm way more invested in Becky Shayna than I was ever invested in Becky Ronda or Becky Charlotte or Sasha Charlotte or anything along those lines.
Oh, dude, I think it's wonderful when you get that kind of segment between two women that on a subjective level, obviously you and I like a lot more. But even beyond that, they have established characters. They're both credible characters and legitimate characters. And you see those two legitimate forces colliding. You just get excited for it the same way I got excited for Asuka Shayna. So just think about that. Like when Ronda came in and they wanted to give her all these matches, like Sasha and Becky and all them, like it was cool, but mainly because of Sasha and Becky. But here with Shayna, because Shayna got to establish herself in NXT and build a rapport with us in a more organic way, et cetera, yep. When I see her stare down Becky and Asuka, I'm excited for both of those programs because of both women involved. Like already I feel like she has supplanted Ronda and she's hit the ground running in that Ronda spot. And you fucking love to see it, man. You fucking love to see it. It's good shit.
Paul
we
with
go
a
from-
highlighted message. He said, "Remember that one week when SmackDown was the best women's division in America?"
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know which one he's talking about. If he's talking about the one where, actually, yes, I do. It was the one where Bailey, I think it was Bailey, laid down the challenge, and it was Ember and Nikki Cross, and I was Kyrie a part of that? I forget.
Kyrie was a part of this women's division that Paul was speaking about for just a little bit, I feel like. Yeah.
So that whole thing, that was, I want to say, like, right after SummerSlam, right?
Yeah. I almost want to say it was before SummerSlam, but you might be right about that.
Maybe it, well, actually, yeah, it almost had to be. Yeah, it almost had to be, because, God, yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering when that segment was, but it was very exciting, and it did have to be before SummerSlam, because then Ember Bailey was at SummerSlam.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers, Paul, no doubt about it.
Well, that makes Pepperidge Farm better than me, because I don't fucking remember shit.
But yeah, we go from that to Angelo Dawkins versus Buddy Murphy. Is it just Murphy now?
I think it is Murphy now, because Montez Ford even addressed that in his one promo.
Oh yeah, like he got hit so hard he lost his first name.
Yeah.
Not
And then he
same...
threatened to do the same thing to Seth, as if.
I'm gonna be truthful. I don't really recall much about this match, and I remember it
Well,
being
dude,
very brief
it was
because
like 2 minutes. It was super short. It got called. It got thrown out because I think Seth got involved.
Yeah, Seth did cause a DQ, breaking up a pin after Dawkins looked like he was gonna beat Murphy, and that's what led Montez to cut that promo that you were just alluding to. And then we get Ford versus Rollins, which I was very excited for in the Discord. I was like, Ford's athleticism, he gets this big singles match.
Yeah.
And I actually did the match, and I thought it was a very enjoyable match. But Seth ultimately does get the win with the curb stomp. I thought this was a good outing for Ford. We've talked before on, NXT TWitWows when Street Profits were on NXT, that I feel like Ford is a very viable singles act. There definitely is upside there. Thought he had great energy here. His athleticism.
I want to like Montez Ford so much, because he really is an incredible athlete, and like he's got charisma for sure. I don't know, man. He flubbed another line tonight. It was weird, and like when he flubs a line, he doesn't just let it go. He has to overcompensate and overcorrect. Like tonight, he completely forgot to say the word championship when he talked about the match that they were going to have in Saudi Arabia. He said that we were getting a WWE Raw tag team opportunity. He didn't say the word championship. And then like 10 seconds later, it must have clicked for him that he forgot to say it. And he said it like 4 times in a row at the top of his lungs and danced along to it. So like, I can appreciate the improv and that he made sure to get his shit in, but like too far,
Yeah, somebody I think needs to pull him aside and just kind of work on the promo work a little bit. Yeah. I still feel like there's a great heel.
I haven't really had any problems with him in the ring, though. His match tonight with Seth was fun as hell.
Oh, dude, yeah. The ring is
when
solid.
he did that tope suicida and then got back in the ring and immediately did the rope shake, I died.
Yeah, dude, like, the in-ring, like, how can I put this? The in-ring product as far as, like, the moveset and everything, and also, like, what you do between the moves, like the rope shaking, all of that is solid.
Yeah.
All of that is solid. I think there's a huge upside there. I still feel like there's a great heel beneath everything with Montez.
I don't think we're ever going to get our Montez-Bianca power couple.
Oh, such a waste. But, yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed the matchup. I do share your reservations, though. Somebody needs to pull him back and be like, hey, if you flub a line, just keep moving forward and find a more organic way to circle back to it if you can. If not, the audience isn't stupid. They know what you meant, but just be careful about like actually expressly communicating it in the future. I'm going to pick
I think it was probably more like, oh shit, I forgot to say championship. Vince is going to kill me when I get backstage. I got to make sure to make up for that kind of thing,
Yeah. And, I get that live TV can be nerve-wracking. Like, I couldn't speak in front of that many fucking people. There's just no way.
I almost wonder if it's just another example, though, of maybe the Street Profits did get called up too early, because, like, let's never, ever allow ourselves to forget Angelo Dawkins' promo on the multiverse theory.
Oh, God, yeah. Dude, it's funny.
Where he just stopped mid-line and just completely forgot what he was supposed to say.
Yeah, dude. It's even funny that you...
That was one of the most bizarre moments I've ever seen on an episode of wrestling television in my life.
It's even funny that you field the question of, like, the call-up too early, because I did wonder that a little bit when we were talking about Ford just now. Like, you know, maybe it was a bit too soon for them, even though they already got the tag title reign and everything else. Yeah. And I honestly thought that with this current gimmick, they're talking, and NXT at least, had gotten as good as it was going to get. Their only really good promo to me was against Fish and O'Reilly in that contract signing, where they just kept saying, like, you know, we need to win. We have to win, and they get the crowd into it. Like, that was a really good promo for them. But yeah, like, that was the height of it. So I didn't expect much from their promos on Raw, and I've been annoyed about most of their run. But now that they're actually part of the resistance against Seth and his discipleship, I'm like, okay. It's funny that they're getting the spot that I wanted Alistair to get, honestly. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him, but it's like, really thought Alistair would be in this, and he'd be kicking Seth's head off, and we'd be like going fucking crazy because it's Stathington, and, you know, fuck his bitch ass. But yeah, Street Profits got the nod for this, and I want them to keep earning their spot. And I'll be honest, they this match played off really well, because I forget what exactly the maneuver was, but either Seth missed a maneuver or Ford got one off, and it seemed like Seth was prone for the frog splash, and I actually thought Ford was going to hit it, so they worked me. You know, I definitely got worked by this matchup.
Isn't that
Seth
such a great feeling?
Oh, dude, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, absolutely. And then Seth got a really nice looking curb stomp, which I think Ford sold really well. So yeah, the in-ring product of Montez Ford is fucking solid and definitely TV ready. The promo though, just a little bit, and I still don't like all the
energy. And it's not even like, oh, you know, get rid of it, start over again. It's just refinement.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Tuning, you know?
Yeah. We're not asking to, like, raise anything to the ground. I'm not going to, well, actually, no, if I would, then somebody would be like, well, you just did. Yeah, so fuck you, Sethington. But yeah, it's just refine it, tweak it, get it done. So then we get to our main event, Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. And again, because of the crowd and just because I'm loving babyface Kevin, I was actually really glued to this match. I was genuinely looking forward to it.
Was this really the only other thing left on Raw? I feel like, God, we really flew through this episode of Raw. It was a quick episode, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's what happens when you're not, like, sighing, looking at the clock every 20 minutes.
Yeah, right? I really enjoyed how these two worked together. I thought it was good shit.
Such
back
good
and forth.
shit.
Such good shit. I've used that line so many times, I got to give at least one Vince impression. Yeah, I just like the back and forth. I like the energy. Kevin Owens got a really nice looking super kick at one point in this match. Just I don't know, the offensive babyface Kevin, I'm more invested in it. I'm more gripped by it. I'm like, yeah, let's get this fucking matchup. Let's get this fucking win, because I want to see him back in the title picture. Like, it feels good to actively support Kevin again, because, like, I never stopped, but, like, I'm really enthused about it right now.
Great job.
And thank you, man. And it just feels so fucking good to be, like, genuinely enthused about supporting him. Seth and his discipleship come out. I like, though, that Street Profits, they weren't done for the night. They do come back out, as do Viking Raiders, which that's a tag team that I'm definitely happy about getting this kind of main event push and being taken this seriously. Yeah. And I like, too, that they still haven't gotten their Raw Tag Title rematch. Yeah. At least that I recollect.
It's almost like they're trying to just more make them a part of this story, and when the story's conclusion, the logical conclusion, which is, you know, Seth and Murphy and the AOP having some kind of cathartic comeuppance brought upon them, part of that comeuppance will probably be them losing the tag titles, maybe even back to the Viking Raiders.
And, dude, honestly, if the Viking Raiders were to do it at Mania, that would be an amazing Mania moment for them. That's like,
I feel like that's like a really old school thing that they don't really do so much anymore, is taking the titles off of a babyface team, putting them on a heel team, just so that same babyface team can have a WrestleMania moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if that's
and not even just team, but like entity. Like, it doesn't have to be a team. It can be a man, a woman, a tag team, whatever.
Yeah.
But taking the title off of a babyface, putting it on a heel, and then, letting the heel drop it to that same babyface at WrestleMania so they can get that big moment. I love that kind of. I don't want them to abuse it or anything. I don't think that they should do that with like every storyline or even every year. But like, yeah, I love that sort of storytelling device, and I feel like that's what they're probably going to be doing with at least this title.
Yeah, and honestly, given the people involved, given the stage that we're heading towards and everything else, it really feels right. It really feels like a perfect snug fit for them to do this. So the match continues. They get it cleared out. Great back and forth. I really was like, because in my mind, right, again, and maybe this is just the mark in me, and I should know better by now, not only being a fan of so many years, but being a fan that's part of a fucking podcast that, like, breaks this shit down for a living. I thought that we're going to give Winnipeg the feel-good moment. Babyface hero wins in Canada. I honestly, dude, half expected Edge to return tonight, and I want to commend WWE for showing restraint to not have Edge return in Canada, because that takes a lot. And
that had to be tempting.
Speaking of, quick thing, I did want to mention, because I didn't mean to deliberately gloss over this, I just felt like there wasn't really much to talk about. Next week, it was announced that Beth Phoenix, that is going to be on the show to give an update on Edge. And people are already predicting that Beth's going to eat an RKO from Orton, and I honestly hope they're correct, because I think that'd be great television, and especially give Edge even more of a reason to fucking hate Orton. Like, not only do you try and re-end my career, but you go after my wife. Like, dude, simmer the fuck down, courtesy of a spear.
Too far, man. Too far.
Exactly, but these two keep going. Kevin Owens and Orton. Rollins gets on the apron at one point because he wasn't disposed of. Only the AOP and Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
And then, Orton at one point just hits the rope hung DDT, and the referee, who I'd never seen before, does a really fast fucking count. 1, 2, 3. Gonna pick a team.
Dude, there were points during the post, because I really wasn't paying attention to the referee until after the fuckery. But there were points during the post-match fuckery that I was like, is that R.D. Evans? Like, I really thought it might have been. Like, he just dyed his hair black or something, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, man, I was really perplexed.
You know who I'm talking about when I say R.D. Evans, right?
That name sounds... Yes, I got that name. The name sounds vaguely familiar.
Oh, fuck. I forget. He has another alias that he goes by. God damn it. Wrestler. Wow, my wrestler, R.D. Evans. What? Robert Evans. John?
I am still here, man. We just had kickoff, and I got the ball there, so.
Damn it, I missed. All you.
But anyway,
Archibald Peck.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And okay, yeah, now it's all clicking. Yeah, dude. And he immediately goes to check on Rollins. Are you okay, sir? Are you okay, sir? And Rollins just looking at him like, yeah bro, fuck off. He's like, yeah,
is that the vibe you got? I don't know.
Well, I think Seth is just like, he feigns it, right, to show that he doesn't have any association, even though he's a seedy scumbag. And
I'm sorry, did you say seedy or skeevy?
Seedy scumbag.
Seedy. Okay, that's what I thought.
But yeah, man. So, Kevin is like flummoxed, like, what the fuck happened? Seth tries to. That's gonna go in, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Seth tries to encourage Orton, like, listen to those voices, Randy, because he arms him with the chair to do the whole concerto thing.
Yeah.
Kevin regains himself. He gets a chair. Orton decides to, like, back out, like, again, much like Shane earlier, not my monkeys, not my circus. He leaves. So Kevin was able to successfully fend off.
It's also really nice that we have some, like, intertwining storylines going on, even if they are, like, making it apparent, like, this is not my, this is not where I parked my car kind of thing. Like,
right.
Because, like, when the ref, because that was another thing that happened, was the ref, Owens had his chair and the ref went to take the chair away from Kevin. And as Kevin was staring at the ref, I was like, okay, now he's going to turn around and do an RKO. And then the camera showed Orton walking up the ramp. I was like, oh shit, he actually left. I was so like flummoxed by Orton actually leaving. I really thought he would hang around and just do an RKO to Kevin just to make sure that he got his shit in, because he didn't get to do an RKO in the match because for whatever reason the ref decided that his finisher was now the DDT.
Yeah, and Ciampa's ready to sue somebody.
Yeah.
But Orton was just like, I'll show you, Kevin, that the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment are R, K. Fuck it. And he
Yeah.
just walked up the ramp.
I love that he cuts the whole tedious promo, and then he's just like, you know what? Too much.
Yeah. But you're right at the finish. Yeah. You never will be, though.
I'm well known for not trying. What makes you think I'm going to try with this program or promo?
Exactly. So Kevin then looks at the referee. Oh, actually, no, I remember now, because the referee takes the chair away from Kevin when Kevin kind of threatens Rollins with it. Kevin just kind of looks at the referee like, what the fuck? And then he very literally puts his hands on the referee, gets his hands on the situation, and tears the ref shirt off, and he sees a Messiah shirt underneath. He, just to kind of wrap this segment up.
Oh, yeah, that was another line by Street Profits that I really appreciated tonight. Dawkins called Seth the Monday Night Pariah. That was genuinely clever.
Yeah, I like that. Definitely like that.
I'm starting to think Dawkins is a better talker than Ford.
That would really be something, man, because Ford's
I was going to say, as long as he doesn't overuse the fam thing and he doesn't forget his lines completely.
Oh, damn.
As
Yeah.
with the multiverse thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Kevin stuns the referee. He then gets a table set up because he was thinking about a chair, but he's like, no. I'm a babyface. What do babyfaces love to do? They love to pander. How am I going to pander? Breaking that wood, baby. So he gets the table set up.
I feel like I could have defended that if I didn't get run into so much.
Yeah, I definitely had a heel turn on you there.
I felt it. I felt it in the tailpipe.
Well, that's going to be sore in the morning.
Oh, my God.
Power bombs the referee clean down the middle of the table. I was scared at first because the ref didn't seem to be fully supporting Kevin at first on the power bomb, but it looked clean and it looked good to finish.
Yeah.
But to really
I had
get
the exact
into
same
it,
thought, by the way, because I was like, is this referee even a trained wrestler? Like, why is he not helping Kevin with this power bomb? And then eventually he got it off, and I was like, oh, that looks good.
Yeah. But that was pretty much Raw. So just to, I guess, kind of get into the segment, because we were talking about it before we went live on Twitch. I don't know how the internet's going to feel about it. I haven't gleaned their reaction yet. I love that Seth is converting referees now. I think that is so cool. I think it's a perfect heat magnet, because I even kind of walked you through the scenario, because I've been hearing rumors that if Drew beats Brock, which obviously
you know what though, I almost wonder if it is a conversion or if it's a plant. I don't think Seth converted a referee so much as Seth got a referee on WWE's payroll that already represented him in the first place.
That's a better point.
Because and I think someone else in the Discord mentioned I thought that I didn't recognize that ref. It's a new ref.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's going to be somebody that knew Seth beforehand and just applied for a job with WWE and storyline, of course. I'm wondering if that's the route they'll go rather than he's just an admirer or something, because I'm sure that's how he'll try and play it off and how Seth will try and play it off, but I'm sure there'll also be one of those backstage reveals where it's come on, man, I didn't get you this job for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential with this. Again, to go back to the scenario that I was kind of laying out, the rumors are that, Drew may very well beat Brock and they may go all the way with Drew, which I personally hope they will. Again, we won't completely dive into that until WrestleMania preview and predictions. Yep. But if they do, I heard that Seth would be one of the first programs, which makes perfect sense given Seth's position on the card right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I even told you I could see in their title match, Drew does a Claymore countdown, goes for a Claymore kick. He connects with the unbiased official, the actual official for the contest.
John Cone or Drake Wirtz. Or
Drake Wirtz, somebody like that. And then out comes...
Is Chad Patton still a thing?
He might be. I'm not sure. But then out comes Seth's pocketed referee.
Of course.
And, then
you guy that looks like Archibald Peck.
Exactly. Then you get the heat. And then you get the hope spot of, maybe Seth actually getting a belt shot to the face or a low blow, and Drew kicks out at 2, and you do the whole thing. So I could definitely see them deploying this mechanism that way, which I think is really going to be very entertaining. I also liked that that like Seth's tried advocating for the guy. What are you doing, Kevin? That's a good man, Kevin.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So yeah.
And I love too the way that they mic'd Seth up while they had the camera on Kevin, because he was talking about, I've never seen this man before in my life. I don't know who he is. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So, dude, I loved it. I actually want to have just a last minute discussion here, not related to Raw, because this looks legit as shit. I'm actually going to take my battery pack out for this.
Oh.
Foster, thank you so much, Alex, actually posted the New Japan Cup bracket, and some of these matches look fucking legit. And I love how stacked this tournament is, dude. Okay, so let's go through it. We got Makabe versus Cobb happening March 4th.
I'm glad to see Cobb in it. That's cool.
Ishii versus Hanare. Please, dear God, Ishii win the first round.
Yeah,
I swear to God, if they have Hanare beat Ishii.
Is that a bracket where it's set up that we're probably going to get either Cobb or Makabe versus Ishii?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the whole left side of the bracket I'm talking to you about right now.
Yes.
So,
okay,
Makabe
I'm listening.
Cobb,
I'm listening.
Ishii versus Hanare.
Yep.
Yano versus Owens.
Chase Owens, please Yano.
Yeah, Chase Owens. Cabana versus Fale.
Okay, so we're gonna be getting Yano versus Cabana again in the next round.
Dude, in the first round on March 7th, they're doing Okada versus Jay White.
Oh, wow.
First fucking round, dude.
Wrestle Kingdom 16 main event preview right there, brother. Or not 16, 15. Wrestle Kingdom 15 preview.
Dude, I'm telling you, not every match, but a lot of these matches are like insane to me. We got Yuji Nagata versus Suzuki March 7th. So, dude, if Suzuki wins, which I'm hoping he will, he's either going to face Okada again, and you know I never get tired of their matches, Royal Quest or Jay.
It's definitely going to be Suzuki and Okada. Holy shit.
Dude, oh my God, they're really making me tempted to live react to New Japan, which we've never done, but this just looks stacked.
Yeah. And I think I even proposed that to you earlier in the year. I was like, dude, do you want to live react to New Japan Cup this year? And you weren't sure. Well, this might convince you.
Yeah, it might. Because we got Juice Robinson versus Alex Coughlin.
Dude, how many people is this like a 16 or a 32?
I think it might be 32, dude. Because again, this is still the left side of the bracket. I'm gonna let you know.
And if they're getting young lions in it, because you said Alex Coughlin, that means there are young lions involved. This is totally gonna be 32.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dude. Okay, no. Okay. I want to be patient.
We've got Juice versus Alex, so Juice is going on.
Finley versus Tonga Loa. David Finley versus Tonga Loa.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, I'm definitely going to be rooting for Tonga Loa in that. But they could do Finn versus David Finley, and that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Or not Finn, Juice. The other half of Finn Juice.
That was the left side of the bracket, okay? Now I'm going to go to the right side.
Oh.
That was all the left side, dude, yeah. Right side, Tanahashi versus Taichi. This match I'm excited for because I've never seen these two have a bad match. Ibushi versus ZSJ. They always have good matches. And here's the thing. They have a story going into this because as it relates to the New Japan Cup, Ibushi's never beaten Zack in the New Japan Cup. Zack's beaten him 2 years in a row. Wow. So
yeah, and I expect them to do it again too.
Really? Because I'm not so sure. But Mikey Nichols versus Sonata.
Ooh, that's gonna be a fun match. Sonata's got that.
Are you ready for this, dude?
Yeah.
We got Ospreay versus Shingo.
Dude, Ospreay's winning that. Ospreay's gonna win that to face Sonata then, because it's like they're gonna tell the story of him kind of having Shingo's number because he beat Shingo in the BOSJ finals last year too.
Okay, now admittedly on this side, there's only one other match I'm really hyped for, and I think you'll know what it is. But in the meantime, we've got Tenzan versus Yoshihashi. I'm actually rooting for Tenzan here. I was
gonna say that's like another like Toa Hanare. Like I don't really give a shit about that match. We could skip that.
But here's the one final match on the right side because I think the left side's stronger to me personally.
Okay, so this is actually only a 16-man tournament. I was getting a little excited that it was 32.
Yeah, because I mean this is the last match I'm excited for, but it's not the last match in general. I have 2 more matches after this.
Oh, okay, maybe it is 32. Shit.
Carl Fredericks is facing Kenta, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Who is the potential opponent for Kenta then in the next round? Who are
it
the
would
next
either
two?
be Yoshihashi or Tenzan. So
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. God, can we replace Tenzan with Goto to tell a real story here? Shit,
that would be amazing, I think.
fuck.
But unfortunately, Goto already has a dance partner. I'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Kojima's facing Evil.
So it's
And
just to be clear though, Yoshihashi's definitely beating Tenzan and then losing to Kenta. What was who's Evil facing?
Kojima.
Kojima. Okay, okay, that's cool. It's not exciting or anything, but it's decent.
And then Goto's facing Yujiro Takahashi.
Oh wait. Oh, Yujiro. Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's why I even said the first name, because if I just said Takahashi, it would have been like, oh wait, here, no,
Yeah.
the other Takahashi.
Okay. Yeah.
But dude,
No Moxley in the New Japan Cup.
this tournament is stacked. I mean, can I just say I'm pleasantly surprised Suzuki's in the New Japan Cup. I was really hoping he'd make it. I wasn't sure. And the idea that he's facing Nagata of all people, that was a name I wasn't expecting. Dude,
yeah, he's facing Nagata and then Okada.
Yeah, dude, oh my god. I will never get tired of Okada and Suzuki beating the shit out of each other ever.
Dude, so in this tournament alone, we're getting Okada Jay, Suzuki Nagata, Suzuki Okada most likely, Zack versus Ibushi, and most likely also Zack versus Tanahashi.
Yeah, again, which remember 2 years ago, that was the final that Zack won his New Japan Cup was against Tanahashi.
Yeah.
And then, dude, let's not forget Ospreay versus Shingo. That's gonna be, dude.
And if Suzuki can pull off the upset of a century, we could get Suzuki Ishii.
Dude, this New Japan Cup's way too stacked. And you know what? I picked Sonata.
But dude, I almost have to wonder if they'll do that because the alternative is Okada Ishii, and that does not seem all that likely.
No, it doesn't. Oh man, I love Ishii and Juice and all them so much, but none of them really seem viable when I look at this fucking stacked ass tournament. Oh my god. The funny thing is, my pick for Sonata actually doesn't start out too bad because I definitely think he's beating Mikey Nichols. I have no doubt about that. And
but then I would guess that his next opponent would be Ospreay.
Yeah, and I just don't have confidence that he'd beat Ospreay with the story that they're telling right now. Dude, he may not even beat Nichols. How sad would that be?
No, he will. He'll beat Mikey. Well, that's a good point, though. That is a good. Well, shit, you're right. God, well, no, because you know what though? I'm gonna look something up real quick. You got me all kinds of shit flowing through my mind right now.
Yeah, again, thanks to Alex Foster for posting this bracket like in the Discord.
Yeah, thank you very much, Foster.
Yeah. I can't believe Suzuki's in. Dude, I just need one more Suzuki Okada matchup, and then I'll need another one after that one happens.
Yeah. Defeats. Let me see. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do defeats. Okay. So he lost to Jay. He lost to Zack. He lost to Okada. That was in Rev Pro, so that doesn't count. He lost to Fale. Okay. So his last... Well, you know what? I want to chalk that up to small sample size. He's only had, what, 4? 1, 2, 3... Doesn't count. 4, yeah. Okay. So, I know that it's really interesting to say, oh, Sonata hasn't won a singles match in 6 months. And it'll be 7 months by the time March rolls around. But he's only had 4 singles matches since his last singles win. So he's 0-4 in his last 4 singles matches, but it's not like he's 0-12, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm confident he's going to beat Mikey. And honestly, based on that alone, I kind of want to pick him to win the cup entirely.
Yeah.
Maybe even beating Okada in the finals.
Ooh, dude. Yeah, I'm psyched for this.
I mean,
am absolutely psyched for this.
He did it in the G1, right?
Yeah, that's true. Again, I would say just from the image that Foster shared, I really like the left side of that bracket. That is attractive as fuck. Yeah. And maybe that's because all my guys are in there, like Ishii, Suzuki, Juice. Like,
Do we
yeah.
know if is Mikey Nichols like officially affiliated with Chaos? Is he like officially a part of a faction yet, or is he just a guy?
I honestly don't know, dude. I don't know. So I don't want to like remark one way or the other.
Well, why don't I look it up? Mikey Nichols Chaos. Yeah, he is officially a member of Chaos. I'm looking right now. On February 24th, 2019, it was announced that Nichols would be returning to New Japan and would be competing in the 2019 New Japan Cup. Rocky Romero subsequently revealed him as the newest member of the faction Chaos. So that's interesting to me because it's looking like they might have Sonata run through Chaos.
Yeah, he might. He might.
Who is Zach facing in the first round again? Ibushi, right?
Ibushi, yeah.
Who's Tanahashi's first round opponent?
Taichi.
Damn.
Who might actually get the win. They are weird about pushing Taichi, and it's not like Tanahashi is as OP as he was when maybe we first started watching New Japan.
It's just hilarious. Oh man,
but
it's just funny to me. I really want to see this bracket now. New Japan Cup 2020 bracket. Let's see. There we go. Oh, New Japan 1972. Oh wow. Yeah, it's definitely 32. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay. So Sonata beats Mikey. Then he would have to face Will. Then he would have to face one of Tanahashi, Taichi, Ibushi, and Zack. That's really interesting. Who's like the top Chaos guy in the bottom right-hand quarter of this bracket? Goto, obviously.
Yeah.
God. But he's going to be Kenta's to run through, though. So maybe they won't tell the story of Sonata running through Chaos. But I do think that he'll... Oh, God. It becomes so interesting because if he wins his first two matches, he's very likely going to end up have to face either Tanahashi or Zack. And we know Sonata can beat Zack. Tanahashi would be interesting as fuck. But then I'm guessing he would meet Kenta in the semis. And Sonata Kenta is a really interesting matchup because Naito beat Kenta. Can the sort of second in command in LIJ also beat Kenta? That's an interesting question because in a way Kenta's kind of the second in command in Bullet Club. So that's interesting. And then I want to get creative with the left side, but Okada exists. So
yeah, dude.
I'm just sending Okada straight to the finals, and Okada versus Sonata as a finals. I am rooting hard for Sonata to go all the way. And that path, like just him, and honestly, I almost want it to be Tanahashi because then you're running through aces like it's nothing, like.
Yeah.
First, you got to go through Mikey Nichols. Obviously, he's never been an ace of anything that I know of. But then Will Ospreay, Progress ace, current Rev Pro ace. He's literally the Rev Pro heavyweight champion right now. The British heavyweight champion. He got it from Zack. Then Tanahashi, the old ace. Then Kenta, the old ace of Noah. And then fucking Okada, the ace. Like, Sonata has such a path to victory. I want it to happen. I'm going to be rooting for him hard. And I do think we should live react to at least, not necessarily the whole show. Like, I don't think we should be, like, trying to live react to, like, every New Japan Cup show. But I think that we should almost treat it like a G1 and just live react to the tournament matches.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Because, the whole shows, it would get very tedious very quickly. But just the matches, I would honestly be open to. Because this is stacked.
And the beautiful thing is, too, I'm seeing it. The way that they have it laid out here is really nice. They're basically using they're dividing it into quarters, like what I kind of did mentally already. So the first four matches, like there are four, groups of four matches where the first four matches happen on one show, then the next four matches, then the next four, then the next four. And then they start doing it two matches at a time where they'll do the winner of the first two against each other and then winner against and et cetera, until eventually they're only doing and after the first round, actually, they're only doing two matches per show. So what we might even want to do is like live react to each of the first 4 days tournament matches on separate days, but then start grouping days together. Like maybe we do like the 3-4 matches, then the 3-7 matches, then 3-8, then 3-9. But then we do 3-10 and 3-12 together in one recording, and then we do 3-13 and 3-14 together in one recording. Or if you just want to do them each day that they happen, I'd be down for that too.
We could do the groupings. I like that because I feel like that's not like overly saturating the channel, and like then our audience doesn't get fatigue, like content fatigue. Yeah. So I think the groupings actually,
because God knows we're not going to have Stardom content to put out during this time.
And yeah, that actually makes this perfect because with Stardom having their issues, this came in at the perfect time. Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to have one Stardom show to react to this entire time, and we're going to be able to live react to it actually live on Saturday the 7th at 9:45 p.m.
Yeah, TWitWoW has never covered a New Japan Cup. If we were to ever do it, this looks like the year. Just given everything, logistically, quality-wise,
And Foster just said apparently the winner faces Naito for both belts.
I honestly thought Ospreay had a real chance at this, but the moment he won the Rev Pro heavyweight title, I'm like, nah, ain't gonna happen. So,
God, I almost feel like that reduces the chances of it being Sonata too, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, we
know it's not going to be Kenta because he just had his shot, so that's like an easy cross out.
I'm honestly rooting. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for fucking Ishii because I know him and Naito can have good matches. We've seen it like plenty of times. Suzuki already got his shot a little bit ago.
You know what, dude? I almost want to say it's going to be Tanahashi now.
Yeah.
God, you know what though? Any of the big three guys in the upper right hand corner there, Tanahashi, Ibushi, Zack, one of those three guys is probably going to.
Honestly, dude, the only reason I could buy Zack is because he has a fucking hate boner for Naito.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying, though. And he's like, submission wrestling is like Naito's weakness.
Yeah, and when he eliminated him from that 1G1, he did it with the Zack driver, and he even said he was going to eliminate Naito from that 1G1 a few years ago, and he did. Yeah. So, like, they have a built-in history. Ibushi, though, and Naito also have a built-in history.
Yeah.
They killed each other. I think it's going to be Ibushi or Zack, and it's weird.
Naito also looked up to Tanahashi, so there's a lot of built-in history there, too.
I think I'm going to go with Ibushi.
Here we are focusing on everyone but Taichi. Watch, they have the fucking balls to have Taichi win the New Japan Cup.
That's this stacked. I'd be sick.
I know, dude. I know. I would be too. I'd be so angry.
Dude, we'll see. Well, you heard it here first, guys. We're covering New Japan Cup. I didn't think we'd do it, but I think logistically, Stardom's going to be non-existent, so it's not like it's like too much on us, which is the original reason why I was so hesitant to even do it. I'm like, we're already doing so much. But with Stardom out of the picture, fuck it. I mean, this looks great.
Yeah, because the 3-7 is a Saturday, but if you want, we could do the 4 New Japan matches at like 6, and then that would probably be under 2 hours, so we'd be done by 8, and then the Stardom show wouldn't start until 9:45, so we would have a good almost probably 2 hour long break in between New Japan and Stardom on that day.
Which what day is that again?
Saturday the 7th, a week
a
week from this coming Saturday.
Okay, so I'll have to let my family know, cut it up. But yeah, I think to work that all out, that's fine. Yeah, that works.
I mean, dude, if you would prefer, we could just like do the New Japan show at like 7 and, just be later. And then you get more of your family day to yourself. And then we have the New Japan show and the Stardom show, and they'll just be closer together.
No, I think for the 1 week, I'll tell him I got to be bounced by 6. I haven't bounced on him yet. And I feel like bouncing on him now for this. Like, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. But
yeah, you didn't even have to bounce on him for TakeOver this past time because it was on a Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they already know that like commentaries on Saturday will come up, and this just happened to be it because this is just such an extraordinary circumstance. But anyway, I really would like to wrap this up because it's getting late, and I wanted to eat, and we're like way past that. So we will be covering New Japan Cup, guys. You'll be getting your best coverage here because where else? And we hope you enjoyed the Rocket League stream, even though we really just kind of talked and stopped playing Rocket League at this point. I apologize for that. I just wanted to make sure that I could really pay attention to the bracket because that was just so cool. And mainly the Rocket League was for Raw, which we got through.
Fucking loaded. I'm like, my mind is blown at how stacked this card is. Jesus.
Dude, I can't believe they're doing Okada Jay White in the first fucking round. Like, that's like a semifinal, if not a final matchup to me. Holy shit. Yeah, I could go more into my predictions, but again, like I'd rather just wrap this up for now, and we could just kind of go
I'm
into
also
an outline
really
when we're
excited
actually
that we're
doing it.
getting Nagata in this. I'm happy to see.
Yeah.
And against fucking Suzuki. Like if anybody on the New Japan roster can dad dick Suzuki, it's fucking Nagata.
Oh, dude, you're such a Nagata fan. I feel like that. Yeah, that match is gonna be right in your wheelhouse. And like me, like I respect Nagata, but I'm just looking for Suzuki to pile drive his fucking head into the canvas. So, you know,
Oh man, I want to see Nagata hit that backdrop driver so bad.
hey, dude, I think anything can happen in this fight. Because here's the thing: when Okada would be champion, I really feel like that would limit the field. I feel like Naito being champion actually broadens it. Like I could see like a lot of people challenging a Naito championship
Yeah.
reign more so than an Okada.
And it's
Okada,
really not even
yeah.
necessarily because he's like more compatible with other people or anything. It's literally just like it's someone else. It's someone new. It's not Okada again. It's not the same 4 or 5 guys that Okada always faces with his title on the line, and it's a different champion. So even old challengers like Okada versus Tanahashi has been done to death. Naito versus Tanahashi though has my interest. Okada versus Jay White even arguably has been done to death, but Naito versus Jay White's a little more interesting. Okada versus say Zack. Like there are a lot of examples of guys who Okada has worked with a lot because he's been champion for so long and they're all in the title picture. Shit, dude. Fucking Bad Luck Fale randomly gets a title shot against Okada every year. I don't know. Fale versus Naito might be interesting.
Yeah, and I just feel like because he hasn't owned the main event spot the way that Okada has, he
Yeah.
doesn't have the God mode that Okada does, which makes me immediately more invested in every championship match
Yep.
because I feel like 99 times out of 100, you can pick Okada to win when the title's on the line.
Yeah.
With Naito, I don't think he has that ratio like at all. I don't think he has like that kind of stuff. So God, we could talk more about this, but again, I want to save it for a later date.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this Rocket League stream for Raw. Foster, I'd be into it, honestly. I'd be, if Yano won, I'd be cool with that. I'd like to see Yano get a little bit of a main event rub, honestly, especially with a champion like Naito. That's the benefit of having a champion like Naito, who isn't God mode all the time. So we hope you guys enjoyed the Raw Rocket League stream and our little post Rocket League kind of New Japan Cup breakdown, which could almost be its own separate commentary since we've decided now that we're going to be covering this. We will see you guys. We're seeing them tomorrow, right, for something?
Excuse my yawn. I was not expecting you to throw it back to me. We've got Stardom tomorrow, the 216 show.
That's right. So we'll be seeing you guys. What time for that? It's 5. We'll be seeing you at 5 for that. I'm looking at the schedule right now. So yeah, guys. With that said, tune in. Peace out.